Yeah, we are in the background.
We're gonna take on the world. We're gonna take on the world. Standing up tall, we gotta make it our own. No waiting around. Winners would never look down. No one can stop us, we got it. The future is right in our hands. Give it 100%. We're gonna take on the world. Yeah, we gotta move. Speaking the truth. Yeah, paying our dues. We making the news. Yeah, we hitting the roof. No, we don't wanna lose. Climbing and shaking the walls. We gotta break all the rules. We're gonna take on the world. 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 We're gonna take on the world.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nilesh Mathure. I'm the co-founder of SaasTribe. And today we are looking at a WordPress automation plugin called FlowMattic. So we have with us Nitin Yawalkar, who is the founder of FlowMattic. And you all know Rouhani Rabin. So Rouhani, thanks for joining. I know it's quite late, but we do appreciate all your insight and thanks for joining. And Nitin, welcome. Thanks for doing this. And it's we've been chatting for a while, so I'm really excited to get to know about FlowMattic, get to know you, and learn all about it.
Thanks for joining.
Hi. Hi, Nitin, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. So, as you know, I'm the founder of FlowMattic. Let me tell you some interesting background of me. I have been working on WordPress since 2013. So, it's almost 11 years. 11? Yeah. No, sorry. No, 9 years. I've been working on WordPress plugin development. Uh, we have around 16 plugins on Code Canyon, that is Inventor Marketplace, and three more plugins that we are selling outside the Inventor Marketplace, which includes FlowMattic as well. So the idea of FlowMattic came from one of my client when I was working with Codable. He was using Zapier for connecting his WooCommerce store with another CRM. His company was using actually, which has API, and he was just using the connection through Zapier, and he was paying like to $557 $57 a year for just 2,000 tasks a month. And I was just shocked with seeing that he was paying too much for just a little thing. That I actually did what I did. I grabbed the API from his CRM and developed a small plugin for him. So whenever the WooCommerce orders came in, it will actually automatically send it to his CRM without going through the Zapier.
The sound just went off.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, I muted myself. I was sorry. I was coughing earlier. So one second. Uh, um, so um, great, good background story. And sorry to interrupt there, but just want to acknowledge we have a lot of live folks. I want to call out. So we have Adrian, we have Dinesh as well, and then we have Pamela as well. Hi, Pamela. Alberto is here. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining in. Sam is here as well. Thank you, guys, for joining in. I know you not watching the Morocco versus Portugal game and tuning into the live stream. That's great. We really appreciate it. So with that, Nitin, let's continue with your story. And I do want to give Ruani a chance to give introduction and what he does as well. So anyone watching us for the first time, Ruani has a very interesting story too and a great background. So yes, Nitin, go ahead, please. Yeah.
Yeah. So after that client, actually, I was not planning for something like FlowMattic, but the thing coming back to me. I had around four similar clients which were using Zapier, and for some different CRMs and different SaaS tools they are using. So I actually build around 4 to 5 small plugins for them that utilize their APIs and connect to their WordPress sites. So that clicked my mind, and yeah, if we do something like this inside WordPress, it will help a lot of users, and even if they can just reduce their task spend on Zapier, it will save them a lot of money. So that was the main idea behind FlowMattic.
Okay, great. Okay, great. Thank you. And I mean, that's from you coming from a need, a personal experience. That's always a great story, right? With that, Ronnie, why don't you talk a little bit about yourself, and then we can
Uh,
jump into a little bit more with FlowMattic. Yes.
Me myself, I've been working in multiple different industries, but 2006 I started using WordPress for the reason to build my own site. So then I wrote a plugin called WP Optimize. I think some of you know about it. And over the years, it now I think it crossed 20 million over downloads, and a regular usage of daily users of 1 million. So it didn't came to that point instantly. I had to work hard and gave it away for free, and I gave support for free, and which was taking a lot of time. And eventually, I actually sold most of the rights to Simba Hosting in UK. So they took it over around 2018 or 2019. Yeah. So that was my journey. So I am closely related with WordPress community, close knitted, and I believe in WordPress development because from my own experience, I have seen that all these lifetime deals versus these WordPress plugins, the WordPress plugins lives longer because the usage, because there will be a freemium version, so you will be able to test it out on the free system. Then you slowly go into the pro version when you need it in that extent. So this model actually been working for so long. I'm sure
Yes.
Nitin will know that Envato, Code
Yeah,
Canyon, Forest, right? So
exactly.
Yeah.
wonderful system, the
And
ecosystem. I mean,
significant cost savings too, right? Using,
yeah.
of course, I mean, there is a value to using SaaS applications, but there is a different value to using a WordPress plugin or something like automation and
Oh, definitely,
right?
definitely.
So, um,
I can remember the FlowMattic story, right? When I saw it first time on Facebook, I was like, so this is going to burn out Zapier and all those Integrity and Integromat and Make.com and whatnot, because we heavily depend on them. If they went down for some reason or the data is missing for some reason, we cannot do anything because they are third party. So if they work, we work kind of way. But when it is Flowmatic, the entire data scope is inside my WordPress. The data is mine. So the storage is mine and the
yeah,
database is also mine. So this is a very important part of that story that if, which we have seen before in Bit integrations, but the Bit integrations, the customization steps are much more less than Flowmatic. So I'm not trying to compare them, but I'm just telling a story because there is
Yeah.
only 2 or 3 uh, plugin in the market who does the job efficiently. So it was a no-brainer for me because it was for my personal use. So I went ahead and bought the business package, and the moment I tried it, and it just worked out of the box, and that was a such a superior experience for me because I use WordPress plugins, so many type of plugins in different cases, and I know sometimes some plugin will not work out. The first time they will have some error, you need some API key and etc etc etc. But this one I installed, activated, then went ahead and started doing my workflow. Then I just added, application specific API keys or whatever it is needed, authorization needed, and it just worked. So at that instant, I became an instant fan. Like, this is something not to be missed from my point of view. So I will let uh, Nitin tell more of the story, because if I go on about my professional and work related story, that's a very long one. I started in 1993, so this is 2000,
we
end
do
of 2022.
we do a separate episode for that, Ruhani. I promise. You know, or maybe a series. Maybe do a
Yeah,
few sessions on that. For sure, I promise you, we will. We will. Sam is saying so. Uh, oh, sorry. One second here. What happened?
I think he's asking about VBout.
Uh,
They have integration
yes,
with about.
Sam's okay. Sam is saying, do they have integration with continually to reboot? Oh, so you want like a recipe from continually to reboot. So continually is a chatbot, and reboot is everything. So you want to, I mean, I've not used reboot, so I don't know. But people say it can do everything. You know, do you like, so he's asking if you have a recipe for these two applications. And if not, what can be done? Can you talk about that, Nitin?
Yeah, we don't have direct integrations with continually or Vivo right now, but we will be integrating them as the time comes with after this core update that we are working on. But the thing is, you can't uh, stop yourself from using these applications inside your WordPress. Okay, so if you have a webhook that from continually, and you have APIs from Vivo, you can just connect using the API module. No issues with that.
Okay, so hopefully, Sam, that answers your question. And what, if of course, you know, we're going to do a few more sessions around FlowMattic, not just this session here. So stay tuned, guys, because it's a very exciting plugin to learn, and we're going to, you know, talk about various use cases, some of the more advanced things which you can do with it too. And I know Ronnie has a few sessions planned. So maybe between Nitin and Ruhani and all of us, we can cover quite a few use cases. A few more folks have joined in. I think we have Suhas Bhatt. Suhas, thank you. He's saying, hey, Nilesh, good to see you
Your
back.
neighbor is also here, Amadi.
Yes. Ahmadi Javed is here. Shade is watching. Hi, Shade. Josefa Farooq is here. Jose Louis Duran. Hi, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the, tuning into this session, considering you're missing the Morocco versus Portugal game. So we certainly appreciate that. So let's talk a little bit about how long it took you to actually go ahead. Why did you decide to do a WordPress plugin versus a SaaS? And we'll talk a little bit about your team. Are you the founder and developer? Do you have a team? How does it work? How big of a team is it? How many customers you have? Can you talk a little bit about that, Nitin?
Yes, yes, sure, sure. So it took me around 1.5 year for the complete development of FlowMattic till the release date. So
And
it
are you
was around.
profitable? Are you profitable as of now? Or have you made your money back, whatever time you invested?
Yeah, not yet actually, but
Yeah.
we have other income streams, so that's not a problem with investing with FlowMattic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it took around 1.5 year for the complete development, and it is still going on, and it will be going on. No issues. No issues. We are currently two more developers working with me, so we are three developers and one designer. Total four team members. I am the founder and developer as well. As you know, if you know Codable, they hire only 2% expert developers, and I am one of them. So
Yes.
uh, the idea behind the WordPress plugin was to host this entire workflow builder and the automation inside your WordPress system only, so that you can uh, connect with any WordPress plugin inside your WordPress site without relying on the integration, without relying on any other third-party plugin that allows you to connect with the XYZ plugin, and that can only possible within the WordPress. So I went ahead with the WordPress plugin instead of going with the SaaS tool. And another thing was what Ruhani said about the database. The database is in all your hand, under your control. If I go with the SaaS tool, I have the control of the database, and if it goes down, if it goes slows down, it will affect your workflows, it will affect everything, as you know. And yeah, what I'm missing?
You're not. I think let me help you here. I
Yes.
think the core power of FlowMattic, right? After
Yeah.
using it for a while, then I realized that there is a core USP inside it. The USP is no matter what you have, no matter you have make.com, no matter you have Zapier or whatever it is, you cannot do critical automations from WordPress itself to these tools. You can do a certain level, but not advanced level. You cannot capture the webhooks or the hooks inside WordPress that does certain amount of things, or when the WordPress cron scheduler is running. So all these is finally exposed by FlowMattic. And I also want to highlight what Alberto is saying in the comment, if you
Yes.
guys are noticing. So
Yes.
Nitin actually goes above and beyond in his group. If you
Ye-
haven't seen that, I am just amazed by one thing in last 1 year plus. He put out nearly 20 over integrations, and that is remarkable work. I have to say that because I have seen things that people are asking, oh, so what about this one? And 2 days later, the integration is there. So that is such a level of proactivity that you don't see it from other places. But I think that USP is still very strong USP, that internal WordPress mechanics. Now we can automate, or even we can send it out to integrately, we can send it out to Zapier to do something else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can give you one example that, okay, so I am using the free version of Fluent Forms. A lot of people knows about that. So what I wanted, that if somebody wanted to fill up my contact form and specifically they choose to submit a blog post, I wanted to create a lead inside Flow Loop. So you see what I'm trying to do, the scenario means I am taking it as a lead inside my CRM. So this was previously, this process was not possible unless you use an external form that sends the webhook data to integrately or Zapier. So now it is possible from native things inside WordPress. So these are the USP. At this point, it might not look like, okay, so not so big deal, but once you go inside it and look at the number of things that it can iterate, you will be surprised. You will be surprised. I got surprised. So great job. Thank you,
Yeah,
Nitin.
Thank
and
you.
with that, I want to also take a moment to acknowledge Alberto for his all his effort. Like, he's very passionate about certain tools, and but he's really passionate about FlowMattic, and it's good to have such
Yes,
avid
definitely. Yeah.
users, Nitin. So of course, you if you build a good user base who really likes the product, and then
Mm.
Alberto talked to me and was like, "Hey, Ronnie already is using it." So that's a really great validation of, if you create that kind of a passionate users, then it sets you up for like a much long-term success, right? Versus, you have to have raving fans, is what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
Alberto, thank you for that. And thanks for the introduction with Nitin and making all this happen, right? So thank you, Alberto. All right. Okay. So we have Sudeep here as well. Hi, Sudeep. So with that, I think we can go a little bit into the competition. It's a crowded space, Nitin, we
Yeah.
talked, no secrets, we talked about before even scheduling this, like, there are guys like Zapier, and I actually have customers who spend thousands of dollars on Zapier. But,
Yes. Yes.
it's just like, it's in their mindset, right? Like, you have to create like a mindset shift for them
Yeah.
to make that happen. Then you have guys like Pipe Dream and stuff, very, very well funded. So, and of course, doesn't mean that different approach for Pipe Dream versus Zapier. Where does FlowMattic stand from an ease of use perspective? Can you do like completely no code? Can you go low code? Can you do coding as well? And what's up? Where does FlowMattic stand in terms of as a usability
Yeah.
and
Uh,
competition?
Comparing to the competition, we have more core values of the product instead of just integrations, number of integrations. If you take a look at the competition, when
Mhm.
we start, when we launched FlowMattic, we had around 25 integrations only, and we went from 25 to around 112 integrations live today. So that's the integration speed we have captured. And if you take a look at any competition plugin, it won't allow you to even 50% of current features what Flowmatic offers. So
Why don't we go ahead and actually, if you want to share the screen, and then we can talk a little bit about, while we look at the plugin, we can talk. So we will minimize a little bit, but that's fine. we can actually look at the plugin and talk what we are here for, right, sir?
Yeah, sure, no problem. Let me share my screen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I do see your screen. 1 second here. Okay, can everybody see it? I hope everybody can.
Okay, can you see the screen now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so let me start with a new workflow instead of using an existing one. Okay, so in the triggers for the workflow trigger, we have webhooks, then plugin actions, scheduler, email parser, and the custom action. So what most of our competitors provide is webhook, and some of them provide schedule. None of them provide either plugin actions, email parser, or the custom actions. Let me show you what each of these triggers do. A webhook provide you a custom webhook URL that you anyone can't guess that this is the WordPress site. If you go with another any of our competitor, they use the WP-JSON API, which actually you can guess from the webhook URL itself that it is a WordPress site. So the webhook URL is just customized as per the standards. So this is just a one trigger. You can copy the workflow webhook URL and send any data to it, like oh sorry, let me capture it first. Okay, so if you can pass the data to webhook URL from either your browser, or you can use this webhook URL in any of your SaaS tool or external application that you want to connect with FlowMattic or connect with your WordPress site. The next one is plugin actions. It has one trigger event, which is plugin or WP action trigger. So what you need to enter here is the action name here, action hook name here, uh, that will trigger this workflow. So let me, okay, I had some. Okay, so if you see, we already have press to player integrated, but if you see it is not integrated like any other plugins. You what you get is the action from that plugin documentation. You enter the action name here and press capture action data. And when this action is fired by the plugin, the response data will be displayed here. So you can actually integrate with any WordPress plugin out there which provides you the action hooks. If
Okay.
we are, yeah, let me show you desktop player box.
Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties with my other camera. So
Oh, it's fine.
Integrations. Sorry, where is it? Okay, no issues. Actually, I'm not able to find it here in the documentation. Let me search if no,
You can. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
it should be here somewhere. General. I'm just trying to explain how it works with other plugins.
Hmm.
How to no knowledge. It is here. Sorry, I'm not able to find this action here in their documentation. I will
that's okay.
use the Fluency API.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Just to explain, I will I will tell you how it works with the Fluent CRM plugin. Consider this is not integrated within WordPress. Within FlowMattic. So if every plug, most of the
If I'm
plugins
not
actually,
mistaken, Chromatic also connect through API. They have a specific API connector.
yeah, they have API connected, but it won't allow
Mm.
you to get the data inside your WordPress as a trigger.
Mm.
Yeah, so to get the data inside your workflow as a trigger, you need to use the action hooks. Okay, so
Yeah.
with these number of action hooks, you can trigger this data. So if new contact is created inside Fluent CRM, you can just copy this action name here and enter it here. And what Flowmatic will do whenever this plugin fires this action in their code, it will capture the data and display it here, so you can then map with your next action steps. Okay, so now go to let's go to the next scheduler. This is for advanced level automation, like you want to check if someone has birthday today, so you can trigger the event every day at same time. Even you can trigger it on weekends if you want to. This will what this action trigger will do, it will execute this workflow at the given time every day, and then you can either call another API or to get the data, or you can use a WordPress functions to get users and look through them, then find out if they have a birthday set in their profile, and if you found that today is their birthday, you can just send them an email or WhatsApp notification, sorry, WhatsApp message, and so on. Okay. The another one is next one we just released this last month, which is email parser. Let me show you this
Okay.
last. Okay, I will
Yeah.
actually I was using the localhost website, so it won't capture the email hook. Sorry, yeah, it's email parser. What is gives you an email that you just want to send your emails to, or you can forward your emails to this email address, and they will be captured here. Let me give you an little example right now. Okay, I have initialized the request. I will just copy this email.
There's a question here.
Yes.
It says, if one has Flowmatic, do you need a tool like Zapier? So Zapier has a few
So,
integrations, quite a few integrations, because just
mm,
it has an advantage of being there for years compared to Flowmatic. But I would say it depends on your use case, right? What are you doing with Zapier? What is your level of familiarity with webhooks or APIs? And based on that, I mean, you can determine, right? Like if you're ready to move right away, or maybe Nitin or Ruani, maybe you offer services as well, right? To help with some automation for sure. Yeah, but
yeah,
do you want
I
to add
can
to that?
explain a little bit
Yeah, go ahead.
on the Zapier versus Flowmatic thing. So Zapier came out many years back,
Yeah.
and they are mainly focusing on SaaS to SaaS connectivity, right? So SaaS application connecting to another application, or SaaS application connecting via a webhook to another application. So that is their core strength. But for me, Flowmatic kind of sits in a different place than Zapier. It's not one to one, because Flowmatic is bringing in actions or possibilities out of WordPress. out of WordPress actions, out of events that's happening inside WordPress. And from that, you can connect to Zapier, you can connect to whatever it is from FlowMattic, right? So if you want to compare one to one, I think that is not fair as well, because this was designed for uh, giving people the flexibility to do things when there are things happening inside their WordPress platform, and from that they can bring it to other automation platform or something else to accomplish the job. So previously, granular wise, it was very difficult to get anything out of WordPress um, to some other place or complete another
What about,
task.
so when you mentioned anything happening with the WordPress platform, but I can
Yeah.
still integrate platforms outside of WordPress
Yes. Yes.
in terms of,
Yes, yes, definitely.
Definitely, because they have webhook in and out is something like RTMP in and out.
yeah,
It's not the same thing, but
yeah.
for the conversation's sake. So they can also capture webhook, and also they can supply a webhook to a third party who can read that. And you can see Alberto's case study. Nitin helped him to connect WooCommerce to MS Dynamics. So MS Dynamics is a full-face SaaS and Power Automate. So there's a desktop level SaaS application, and using FlowMattic and WooCommerce, you can bring information to all those places. Previously, it was not possible.
Yeah, that's why we built the Chromatic.
There is another question here, says if we use a website or funnel builder that is not WordPress, how could we use FlowMattic? So I think just create an instance, and maybe
Right.
Nitin, I'm not sure if you want to talk a little bit about what users could do when they are not
Mm.
WordPress users, maybe something you have planned like in future, or
Yeah, actually, we have already integrated with Groove Sales, which is a funnel builder, and OpenRe.io. It also a kind of, or I'm not sure if it is a funnel builder, but it is kind of that external builder or external website builder that allows you to capture leads from external sources, and you can use any of these to connect with your WordPress site using webhooks. Okay, so we have integrated with group pages as well, which allows you to capture leads from external. I mean, there's hosted pages. If they,
Nitin, I'll be
if
very honest with you. Groove funnels and groove pages is not a very good standard in terms of like I mean they don't really have like a good page builder. So uh, most
Yeah,
likely there is
but
going to
people are
be
using it, so
what's that?
so people are using it quite a
Yeah,
lot in different countries. I mean, not over this side.
a lot of people actually using groove funnels.
Yeah,
Are they, Nitin?
yes, yes.
Wow. Okay. It's not a very good benchmark of a product, right? I mean, I'm just
yeah,
thinking. Yeah.
No, I was just explaining what is possible.
Yes. Yes.
What we
Yes.
did with them, we just integrated with the webhook, and that's all. We just put
Yes.
their icon in the integration. That's it.
Yeah.
You
Because
don't
you
need.
have a very special product, right?
Yeah,
I think, yeah, maybe as an integration, sure, you have the giving access to and accommodating those platform users, but that whole groove thing, I'm not sure how long it's going to last, to be honest with you. Yeah.
yeah. What the possibility is, you can just use this webhook URL inside any of your SaaS tool or any of your funnel builder or any
Yeah.
of your external form that
Yes.
allows you to send the data to webhook.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we want to hear. And
Yeah.
so hopefully that answers. I can't see your name, by the way. just shows Facebook user. So I
Yeah.
apologize. I don't see your name. Uh, if you give a restream permission, I'm pretty sure we can see your name. But Valentin Leon is FlowMattic have a Bulgarian languages translation for the UI?
Valentin is
y-
becoming like Be Loud. So Be
yeah,
Loud will ask a set of questions that is like very, very common. Like I have attended live with him like 15 times, and 15 times that question came out. Yeah, can your UI support French? And Valentin is the same. So all the live I attended with him or her, I can uh, guess. So
yeah.
He's
Actually,
a
we have
Bulgarian
we have
language speakers. So good on you, Valentin. He's speaking for all the Bulgarian language speakers. So there we go.
yeah,
Okay, can something be done for? Uh,
translation.
yeah.
yeah, we are in the process of setting up the translation page. Actually, it's a translation website that will be we're pulling up all the latest translation strings from Flowmattic, and users can contribute their languages to translate. So if you are a Bulgarian user and you see that it is not yet translated, you can just spend some time, I mean, your free time to translate strings to your language, and other users will see and confirm them. And similar thing that we are actually planning to launch so very soon. It is under development and it will be launched after this core update. So you
Okay, I want
can,
to add what Nitin said. I want to add two things on top of that to make it yummy. Okay, so
yeah,
you will have a translation website, but nobody wants to go and translate it, right? But what Nitin will do on the Flowmatic backend, on the about page, he will list all the translators with the link. Okay,
yep,
so don't
yep,
miss the opportunity because this is how you get to the wall of fame. And by doing that, you also do the correct translation, of course. So this is something a relationship you can build with translators or even end users who will help you complete the translation. So on your
yep,
side, you just surface them that Bengali is translated by this person, Bulgarian is translated by Valentin, French is translated by Bilout. So
exactly,
and you can link their website. So this is a very nice way gesture of WordPress plugins to accredit these people who helped you out. So it's a give and take in that process.
Good
exactly.
thinking.
That's
Good
the plan.
thinking, Rocky. And yes, makes sense, Nitin. Well, Valentin is on the point here. He's on the money here. He's saying, I'm asking because I'm official Bulgarian language translator for many WP
There you
plugins
go.
teams. So I can help you with this. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, soon I will be
Perfect.
contacting.
Yeah. Yeah. So Valentin, why don't you get in touch with Nitin and take it offline and what is like the Bulgarian market like for WordPress plugins? Like, do you have a lot of active? I'm sure you have a lot of active WordPress meetups. How many active users do you have? Do you have some metrics there, Valentin? Maybe because of course founders want to translate into languages based on the user base and things like that, right? Where it would make certain sense, but
But I think in WordPress plugin, right? When I used to work on WP Optimize, I did the same thing. So what I did that because I needed people's help to do the translation, it doesn't really matter for me whether there is 100 users or there is 1 million. It's just the thing is we are supporting all the languages. That is our concern. And at the same time, I have noticed a humongous amount of output, and quite literally, they were fighting between each other to submit the translation. And the reason being because they get a huge credit on the plugin credit page, and that's a way to actually maintain this relationship between them. But for WordPress plugins, I don't think it matters how many percent are, that language usage. It doesn't matter actually.
Okay. He's saying my latest
Oh, he
translation
was on busy.
is busy.
Yeah.
Also, I'm the translator too. Okay. All right. Well, then I see you have a good translation thing going on there. You can certainly get in
Mm.
touch with Nitin and anybody else who wants to translate into Bulgarian. Valentine's is your man. Okay. So we're going back to FlowMattic a little bit. Um, Nitin, what are some of the like savings in terms of I know you developed it first of all to save money for your friends, customers. Uh, what sort of like, do you have like a savings calculator? Can people estimate how much they're spending on Zapier right now versus how much they will spend on FlowMattic? Yeah.
Yes,
That's a good
actually,
idea actually.
actually, we don't have any savings calculator right now. But if you go to the dashboard of your Flowmatic, you will see that the task count are there, and we actually count one task equal to the one entire workflow execution. So it's not just the email person task executed and it is counted as one task. It is counted as one task if this entire workflow, even with 10 or 15 action steps, are executed. So that's the kind of saving. And if let me say check, I got a user yesterday that was processing around 100,000, yeah, around 100,000 task executions in the last 30 days, and his one workflow was using around 7 to 8 action steps. So if you
So
count,
it's nearly 700,000 executions according to Zapier, because Zapier will count all the steps if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
it counts all the steps, it's around more than 500,000 task executions.
Mm.
So if you are using that much task executions on Zapier, then you can use Flowmatic to even reduce that number, that much task executions. Even
I
if
think
you are,
Nitin want to show the very interesting part. These are not supported by many automation tools, which is email parsing. So you can
yeah,
actually read an email, use the value of the email
Yes.
content into variable, and then you can send it to everywhere else. So this
yeah,
is something very interesting. Mm.
yeah, let's get back to that testing part. Okay, so I have copied this email from the email parser, and I'm composing the email. You can either forward your you can use your custom email to forward to this email address, or you can directly use this email, no issues. I have also uploaded a CSV file with contacts, and I have added one email and one phone number inside the email body. Let's see how it works. I'll just send this email. Wait a little bit as it takes time to scan the email. Parse it. Yeah, there we go. So the email came from, the email subject is here, the email message HTML is here, and the message text without HTML is here. Okay, and the CSV file is uploaded to your WordPress site. It gives you the file id, the file name which is uploaded to your WordPress site, and the file url which you can use either to share with your email or share with anyone. The CSV data is also
It
parsed.
also extracted the CSV data.
Yeah, it is also extracted per the email id. I mean per the CSV columns. So it's a column user email, the first name. This is extracted from the CSV. So not actually many email parser does this job, but we are doing it on our server side, so it takes around 2 to 3 seconds late, but that's definitely useful for you. And the best part, we also extract the email IDs from the email body. So as you can see, the email body contains support@flowmattic.com, and we already extracted it for you here. If you need to extract the phone number, you can use the text parser. What is, yeah, text formatter, and then use the basic formatting or provide the content, that is message text, and use extract phone numbers. So yeah, here it is, your phone number. So this kind of customization and this kind of automation you can do with Flowmattic, which none of other
I'm not
competitors
sure
are.
Sam is still online or not, but since he asked about VBout, I can tell him a story. So what I did, I used FlowMattic to connect to integrately connects it and integrately and connects it. So it when somebody fills up the form, it goes to these two applications, and these two applications will forward the information to VBout, Akumba Mail, and few other services. So basically, I'm building the email list in multiple different platforms and keeping one at the backup. So the entire process is controlled by Flowmattic.
That's great.
Yeah, very cool. Very nice. Okay. In terms of the number of current users, right? What's the current number of current users you have, Nitin, for Flowmattic right now?
We have around 320 something current users,
Okay. So you have a
and there, yeah,
huge
and
market
Flowmattic.
opportunity.
Sorry.
So you're just not even scratching the surface right now. You have such a massive opportunity in front of you.
Yeah, yeah. And the Flowmattic is currently active on around 800 plus websites.
Very nice. Very nice. So do you,
Did
so
I miss
those
the sound
customers are
or
using it for about, so some customers have some multi-site license kind of thing.
I actually can't hear anything?
Yeah, yeah. There are few users using Flowmattic on around 15 to 16 websites.
Ruani, you cannot hear anything? Did you say? Hello, Ruani?
Yeah,
Nitin, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay. Dinesh,
Okay.
I think who is this? Pankaj Kala is saying
Mm.
Flowmattic looks amazing. Thanks, Pankaj.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about um, your future plans, your roadmap as well.
Mhm.
How do you decide future priorities, priorities in terms of like, do you collect user feedback? Can people upvote for a certain feature? How do you track all that?
Uh, yeah, there we also provide services to users where they need custom integrations with their custom application or another SaaS tool that they are using widely, and there's no integration yet, or they don't allow public APIs, etc. Yeah,
So
so
no integration.
we help users with the paid services. And as for the future plans, we are currently working on connection manager and data tables. Connection manager will take some time as it is a huge one, and we are planning to release data tables before 15th of next month. Data tables is data table is actually pretty much useful to store your forms or custom data inside your WordPress instead of sharing it to storing it on Google Sheets and other external tools. You can play with your data before sending the final output using the data tables. For example, contact form 7 doesn't have the database storage for inside WordPress. They send the email to the user whenever a form is submitted. So most of the users are using Google Sheets to connect contact form 7 and then store the data. But what you can do with data table, you can just store the data inside your WordPress data tables, process some advanced customization, and then send the final output to Google Sheets.
Okay.
The
Okay.
connection manager, yeah, the connection manager is going to be a really huge and a powerful feature that will allow you to connect with any SaaS application that provides API keys or that requires authentication like client ID and secret, and then get the token and store it inside of your WordPress. This process takes us too much time right now, as we need to get the app approved on this system, and then use our API server to connect with them and do some homework on our side. What we are building, we are leveraging this tool, connection manager, to allow you to connect with your SaaS tool or any other application that requires the app to be approved. If you have the API access, you can just create an app and use it inside your own and under your own domain. So it doesn't require the app to be approved. You can use the unapproved apps as well for yourself. So we can you can connect with those many tools that are currently you're waiting to be integrated.
Is there any specific requirements for FlowMattic from a WordPress hosting perspective? Like, do you need certain sort of memory, PHP version? Like, have you tested
Yeah.
it with multiple hosts?
Mhm. We have tested Flowmatic on SiteGround shared hosting and hosting the shared hosting, and even on GoDaddy shared hosting as well,
Okay.
without any failure. So that it works well. We actually executed around 5 to 6,000 tasks in 3 to 4 days on shared hosting.
Okay. And Ronnie, like, can you talk a little bit about like the best practices? What should people do? Like, should there's provision like just a separate instance for their automation needs? Can it just be
I
on the same site they're using? What would you do, Ronnie?
So, for
Yeah.
example, let's say I want to use Flowmatic. For my case, is slightly different because I want to use the WordPress functions to execute or do certain amount of things. But if people want to use it as a platform, so they need an instance, a shared hosting or whatever it is. Put one Flowmatic inside, plugin inside, and then they can interconnect their other apps through that channel. So it can be a, you can call it a automation repository. So the main automation repository, then the external apps they want to connect, it can go through either webhooks or email or many other channel, and then they can route it from Flowmatic to other places where they want it to be. Like for Alberto's example, he had WooCommerce and WooCommerce data. So then he wanted to bring it to Microsoft Power Automate, which is basically a desktop application. So this is something unique, very unique use case because it went through from SaaS to from web to WordPress to a desktop application. So
Yeah,
these are, yeah, Nitin, you are saying something.
Yeah, actually, Alberto helped me a lot with that integration that he was using, and actually I was not aware of the API for the MS Power Automate as well.
Mm. No, it happens. It's not possible for you to know every other product. So this is where the us we come in, because we are the users and we have certain amount of application that we are using. Now we don't have a way to bring the data to some other places or get something done or send a notification email. So all this we cannot do because this application that we are depending on is externally hosted. But I know they have some sort of webhook that can be connected. So I can use my instance. Right now, I'm using my instance on my main website, and I route through it to multiple different places where I want to keep the data. Because if I give a quick example that I bring in some data from Google Sheet to FlowMattic, then bring it to Integrately, then pass it to some other places. So it went through 4 different stages of transformation and still worked 100%. So until today, I didn't receive an error that it cannot do the job,
Yeah,
because FlowMattic also have a notification system. If it fails any task, it will inform you.
yeah, yeah.
So far I haven't gone through it.
That's one of the feature we had from starting point. Okay, just if someone wants to know how they can use the separate instance for building custom applications for themselves, I will use a quote. Okay, the chain codes API. Okay, it doesn't require an API key, but it gives you the free API. For the full documentation. Just a second.
Yeah, I think it brings in through the JSON
Yeah, it
type.
is here. Random. Okay,
Yeah,
it gives you the random code. Okay, let's build a. Let's see, you have a form on your website that someone fills, and that forwards the form submission to this webhook. Let me first paste the API URL here. Okay. Okay, so consider you have built a form on your website that forwards the form submission to this webhook URL through a post request, and that it sends name and say just say it sends your name. Okay, let me capture the data first. Send. So when the webhook first captured, it says that the status is success, and the response you get is that sorry, the message you get is the response captured, and you can see the data is captured here. And what we are going to make, we are going to get the custom code. Sorry, yeah, it is here. We are going to get the custom code from the Zen codes API. Okay, so here is the code, and here is the author of that code. What we want is we want send this code back to the user. So we will use this webhook response module over here, set webhook response, and I will sending this as a parameterized JSON. So it is a code. So I will just pick up the code here, author of the code. and the code is generated for it. Okay, I'll just save and test it and make it live. So whenever someone sends this form on your website, they will get this response instead. You can either send this as a string, make the code for okay. So action code for Nitin. Okay.
Sam is saying Ruhani looks lost just like me. I don't think Ruhani is
No,
lost.
I'm not lost. I'm just sleepy. Is one something
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sam, no, it's a bit late there. That's all.
Okay. So one of our small application is ready. So consider this is a form on your website, and you are just asking for their name. So I will just enter Rohani and submit this form. He will get a code for him customized. If I enter another name, you can see every time you submit the form, you get the customized code, and
yeah.
you just build a form on your website that send gives a custom code to your user. So that this is possible only within FlowMattic, as we have the webhook response module, which none of the other competitors or automation plugins provide.
Okay,
So yeah,
okay, okay. I mean, we are. I know we are going to talk a lot about Flowmatic in the coming days, just to make sure that people are comfortable with it. They use it and they adopt it into their automation, right? Like one of the number one things with automation is it's all about making your workflow more efficient, saving time, and it can be very rewarding, right? Once you have your automation, a lot of things just work with very little modification for days, unless and until there's a certain change in the data or in the API or webhook itself. So, but it's kind of late for Rouhani. So I think we do want to wrap up. But before we do, let's talk about the deal, the pricing, and
Yeah.
okay.
so that, and how many codes do you still have for the lifetime deal? And Rouhani, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to get them covered. But and
No,
then
I'm also preparing few other content for him because
yes,
that is the experiment I'm going through, and so far I haven't get stuck anywhere else. But I actually directly text him one to one on Messenger.
okay,
Yeah, I know he's busy, but he gave the time to
Yeah,
solve the issues. But because of that, I also want to surface this. So because he helped me out on the case that I wanted to do, and the final output was pretty good. So I actually hosted this on my website. So if I will share the link afterwards in the chat, so you guys can have a look. So let's talk about the pricing, because this pricing will not be available anymore. So those who have missed last year, they have already missed a humongous part of it, because there was once I remember there was unlimited sites
yeah,
as well, and
just
uh, there was business with 25 sites which I had, and it was, for me it was like a no-brainer, automation tool, WordPress, 2 keywords, I already buy it. No need to tell me so many things. So the other product also I buy as the same, So I give him an example that how much I love WordPress. This Black Friday, I saved over 1,800 USD on my PayPal account from different sources and etc. And I spent 2,200 USD only one word on WordPress plugins. This
Very cool. Very cool. That's a big shopping. I guess that's a
I
good
didn't miss.
for
I
sure.
have Cadence, Lifetime. I have Blocksy. I have Bricks Builder. Uh, whatever I didn't had, I already snoop. I kept that money for like almost 9 months to grab these things. So
Yes, so I got
definitely
some.
this is something. This I mean FlowMattic lifetime deal. This is definitely people should not miss. I think it is not marketed enough. A lot of other things get overhyped, you know, but this is certainly a very usable tool that people are not getting it. People are not getting the idea of it because it's automation. It requires a certain level of expertise, like dealing with JSON or something. But I would say it is still no code
Yeah.
because the solution I I got from him after asking him, I always wanted to do that, but I couldn't find the right resources. So once he explained to me a little bit, right, the rest of the things I figured out quite instantly, and I think within one day or the second day, I finally complete the entire story, and it became a mini SaaS product. It's not a full scale SaaS product, but it's a mini SaaS product. So
Yeah.
I will share the link in the chat so you guys can test it out later. And the entire thing is managed by FlowMattic. So I would definitely say that don't miss the lifetime deal, because after this lifetime deal, if it comes back, it will be the maximum for 5 websites, if I'm not mistaken. Because the way he is going, 2021 had 10, I think 5, 25, and another 100 and one limited, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah.
And this
100.
year, yes, correct. So I actually observe everything. So this year it's 249 for 2 websites, 579 for 15, and one this one is split payment, so
Yeah.
597 in for 3 months. But this is 15 websites. But even it is for one website, I can tell you that that website can already serve the purpose, even you are on shared hosting. So where did I test? I test iBrave hosting. It's a low quality Nginx 20i server, which worked fine. Then I tested on Lightspeed web server, then my new Lightspeed and my old Lightspeed. So in altogether 4 different services, and none of them failed. Not even ask for missing elements, like some library is missing. So it will work in shared hosting environment. So all you have to
That's great.
spend to keep it running, a good hosting service with $3 to $5 per month, and the rest of the cost is basically zero, because Flowmatic you paid once and it's running by itself thousands of tasks.
Yes.
So
So
yeah,
Nitin,
Yep.
in terms of a little bit more advanced integrations, right? I think I mentioned to you like Pipedream. It's one of my favorite automation platforms because of the ability that I can do, execute like any logic using Node.js or Python or something. And I want to build certain Twitter automations, and the only platform which allowed me to do that in a more economical way at the time was Pipedream. So do you have any plans to what about Node.js, or if they want to execute any type of because executing Node.js is pretty powerful, right? Like, do you have any plans around that?
We don't have any plans right now for Node.js, but we have plans for WP CLI, which I
Okay.
guess, yeah, which is pretty much powerful in itself.
So maybe look into certain services where
Mm-hmm.
you can execute Node.js, like integration with some third party, like maybe, I don't know, maybe we need to look into that. But
Yeah, actually, if I look into it and if I found that I can do it even by spinning up a server, I can definitely do it.
okay, well, yeah, maybe similar
Yeah,
to what Pipedream is doing, right? Because they are allowing you to execute like a lot of custom scripts and logic, right?
yes, definitely. As we are already spinning up a server on our own cost for email
Yes.
person, we
Yes.
can definitely do another one, and we have a lot of plans for premium features that actually won't cost anything to our users.
Because that will make it like that would be like a game changer. Uh,
Yes,
because it's already very super powerful. Not that it isn't a game changer. It is a game changer for sure, especially because it's a WordPress plugin and you spin up a WordPress instance dedicated to automation. And I mean, the cost savings and ROI is like within a month, right?
yes,
Depending on how much you spend on automation, maybe if you have less automation, uh, probably it's 6 months. But for most people who are spending money on Zapier, Zapier is not cheap. Like it's pretty expensive, and if you can achieve that same and get an ROI in your first month, for small size business, for mid market enterprise, I mean that's a huge saving. I cannot even imagine, right? So,
yes.
you want to price it. I think you want to also price it accordingly because you want to make sure that if it's a mid-market organization or an enterprise organization purchasing this, you have a right price package for them, right? I mean, they need to sign up. Like you make this for maybe small business agencies. It's okay if an organization size is more than like 50, 100 users and they're going to come out to you for every single time for support, you're going to be spinning a lot of wheels. So maybe you want to structure your pricing in such a way for the appropriate customer size, right?
Yeah, definitely. We have plans for increasing the prices after we reach 200 integrations, which I'm sure we will be crossing in our next few months.
'Cause I'm sure mid-market, they would pay thousands of dollars for it if you can do it for them. And because you'll be
Uh,
saving them hundreds of thousands of dollars over a period of time, right?
yeah, I don't want to mention names here, but around 10 to 15 people have paid around more than $1,000 for FlowMattic license when we sold out all the licenses in a last deal.
Yeah. So this is pretty huge, right? I mean, people can offer different types of services around it. Uh,
Yes,
with automation,
definitely.
you can make a lot of money. You just need to be able to have the ability to sell. But if you can do a lot with and I can see that. So yeah, you need to. This is a good pricing. That's all I'm saying. And then once you get that away, you want to price it like really well, and price it in a premium because people need to understand the importance of such a platform too, right?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, Nitin added something. I just realized just now that he actually added that personal lifetime. For example, if you buy it now, it will add plus one site per year for 5 years.
Yes,
This is
that's a
something we don't see in other products.
Okay.
So you grow with the product, means the product is growing, your site is growing, and also your capacity is growing, even though you paid one time.
yes, and the bonus will be discontinued after 31st December.
Mm.
So
Okay.
anyone purchasing before 31st December will be getting this bonus added to their license every year.
Okay. Perfect. So last few minutes here, Nitin, if I have to ask you once again to
Yes.
talk very briefly in 60 seconds about FlowMattic, right? What's your pitch going to be? Can you talk a little bit, like in 60 seconds? Why should people go with FlowMattic?
Uh, That's it. Really, with I mean, 60 seconds are not enough to talk about FlowMattic.
Talk about it. Yeah, just say something. That's fine.
Okay, if you are actually using a Zapier or any other alternative that counts to your workflows against the task, please try out the Flowmatic. You will be saving a lot of money over your existing workflows as well, because we are not going to stop here only. We have our dream and we will make it true.
Okay. Okay. I'm asking you because I'm going to make a short and put it on TikTok, or because today people have a very less attention span compared
Mm.
to uh, you know what we are used to doing a 2-hour session, right? So we just want to make sure that we reach that audience as well, because everybody has a need for automation. With that, I think thank you everyone for joining in. Ruhani, do you want to cover anything else? Nitin, do you want to cover anything else before
I
we?
Yeah, I want to cover
I
one
think
thing, that we also updated our regular annual pricing as well. So comparing to the bonuses we are offering to the lifetime users, we are also offering same bonuses to the annual users as well. So if you are renewing your license next year, say you are renewing your personal license, you will be getting additional one site added to your license, not just you are paying for two sites. If you are renewing your developer license, you will be getting two more sites added to your existing license. So you are not just renewing your five websites license, but you are getting more at the same price you are paying at the time of
mm.
purchase.
And
And
it's every renewal. It's not only one renewal.
yeah, it's for every renewal.
Mm.
Okay.
And the same timing is applied for here as well. People who are purchasing the annual pricing and sorry annual packages before 31st December, they are only getting this bonus. That's it.
All right. Okay. So I hope people are taking note of that. Anything else? Are we good to Ruhani? Do you want to add anything? Any
No,
comments
but
about
I
your
would
series?
like to say that
Yeah.
maybe it was not enough hype because of there are too many glasses, and you cannot find the diamond because there is too many glasses outside. So I would say that this is one of the gems that those who work with WordPress or not even work with WordPress, but they prefer some sort of automation through WordPress,
Yeah.
they should not miss the chance. Definitely. Because
Yeah.
I remember last year when it came out, I think the next day or the very next day, I already bought it because I was not in the city, but I was waiting for it because I knew about it that it is coming. And
Yes.
the money that the pricing you are looking at, right? If you actually do some of the automations, your money will come back within 2 to 3 months, or sometimes in some cases in less than 5 days. So yeah,
Definitely.
it is important to remember that part. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on
And
what you
I also want to say one thing about Nitin, that he is very product focused because he himself is a developer. I know because I have been there and I step out from that, but I still know that I want to code here and there. And and Nitin is one of those person, like he code it and also manages it. So I can totally understand the passion behind it.
thank
Now,
you.
that's all I wanted to say. All right, it's very late for me. It's
Yes.
about 1:30 a.m. So I have
Wow.
to go sleep.
Thanks
Yeah.
for being there.
Yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
no,
I
of
think.
course, of course. I wanted to be here. That's why I'm here.
No, no, certainly, Ruhani. I appreciate you joining and staying in late. I think you should get some sleep. We can always cover in the follow-up sessions. I'm sure keep a watch, guys. So Rouhani is going to post some follow-up sessions, and then we're going to
Yes.
do maybe a few more sessions with Nitin as well, which would be probably separately, but Rouhani is going to do a few more deep dives as well. So keep a watch. Nitin, thank you for being here and giving a brief overview of FlowMattic. I'm sure there is a lot more to cover and talk, and it's such a great value in terms of automation. I think instant ROI, something which you can use and attribute the time savings kind of immediately in terms of what you're getting back, right? So even if you're not familiar with WordPress, I'm sure somebody can help you set up a free instance on WordPress. And if you get a FlowMattic plugin, then you're going to save a lot on your Zapier or any other automation service you're paying for.
Yeah.
So guys, please check out FlowMattic's website. They have a very limited codes
Let
left
me
for the lifetime
share the
deal.
link as well.
Yeah. So I have it in my end screen in the credits.
Okay.
Yeah, keep a watch for Rouhani's next video session around FlowMattic, or do subscribe to his channel as well, Rouhani, if you want to leave a link as well in the comments for your channel. And then with that, I want to thank you, both of you. Get some sleep. Both, I know it's really late for you, Rouhani, and it's kind of late now for you, Nitin, as well. So thanks everyone for joining in spite of the Morocco versus Portugal game. Congratulations to Morocco for winning that game. And I don't know what was the Portuguese coach thinking, leaving Ronaldo out for such a crucial game. I think the coach is gone before Ronaldo. But anyway, that's just stupid. But other than that, thank you guys. Really enjoyed it, and we'll be in touch. Thank you, Alberto, as well, for making this happen. And thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Alberto.
Thanks, Alberto. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Nitin. Thank you, Nilesh. Hopefully, we will see each other in another session.
Yes.
And I'm going to plan a workshop session with FlowMattic. So Nitin doesn't have to be necessarily there, but what we will do a workshop live.
Yes.
So we will target to get things done from 4 different person. We do it on live. It's a live workshop kind of thing. So we will do it on SaasTribe. Yeah.
I would love to join it.
Okay. Excellent, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Good night from my side. I think Nitin also.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah.
Take care.
You too. You guys.
We're gonna take on the world.